good today? Enjoying your, was it Wednesday? Hey Rashima, how are you? Kendra, what's up? So go ahead and post your questions. This is just another BOGO. Nothing new, nothing different. But the list is open if anyone is interested. Make sure you guys are posting the correct keyword in the chat in order to be added to the free list. Will things get better for me in the upcoming year? Ooh, you have some attachments, Rashima, maybe negative thought patterns or bad habits that you have to fight through. Let those things balance out, and then I see a more positive future for you. But right now I'm getting a no. So there's some changes that you need to make, okay? I do feel like there is a reconciliation here, SB. I am leaning towards that they will make contact with you in some way tomorrow or by tomorrow. Justice is coming out for a lot of you guys so far today. There is interest in reconciliation. Not sure if it's actually going to happen. I'm leaning towards a yes, Rids, for this month, but it could be timing. Hey, I see. SS, I am getting a no. They've got something going on right now. They're not interested in investing right now in this. So they're not spending their time missing you right now. I am getting a no. This is the karmic card, Wheel of Fortune. This is a yes for me. It is coming in reverse, which means that there's some things that have not been fully worked through. But this is literally the karmic card. I should have called it because I almost said that I feel like the Wheel of Fortune is going to come out for you. So I am getting a yes. Three of Swords. Lots of cards coming out in reverse today, which is interesting. You're welcome, Ritz. You're welcome, SS. They're focused on work right now, but they do think of you, Nyla. They're just busy with distractions. They have thought about you the last couple of days. We have the thinking card at the bottom of the deck, but they are busy with their own life. We have 11 minutes left on the clock. If anyone wants to make a donation, it is 2 for the price of 1 today. So donate $15. Give 2 questions. We have 10 spots available. All 10 spots can be taken up, and you can take as many spots as you'd like. Nettie, make sure you're posting the correct keyword or emoji. Camilo. I'm getting a no, Camilo, not in this lifetime. Remember, guys, sometimes twin flames, you're not supposed to like incarnate together. They're supposed to be with you on your soul journey. So sometimes you won't meet them in person in this particular life, if that's the agreement you guys had. Kendra, I got a no, 3 of Swords. You're welcome, Nyla. Did you have a question? Eight minutes on the clock for new and returning subscribers. However, if you're new to me today and the clock runs out, I will still answer your question. I do know you guys have a hold on being able to talk in the chat for 5 minutes, so I will still answer questions for new subscribers to me today. If anyone is interested in an extra free yes or no, if you're not already following me on Instagram or TikTok, definitely do that. I will answer another yes or no question for you. Rabs, absolutely. You just have to make sure you're entering the correct keyword or emoji into the chat. You can get that information in the description and then post your question along with the keyword. The keyword is in the description of this video, so all you have to do is go to the description and scroll and you'll see it. It's how you get on the free list on every one of my live streams. It's different every time. I am doing good today. I speak, how are you? Emily says, hey, I have a question. Is it okay to ask once you've finished the free yes no questions? Ask I'm sorry, ask what? Did you make a donation? Is that what you were saying? Hold on, let me see. I'm confused. Eating Reese's chocolate. Well, then it's a good day. Rob says, third eye. Will Fidel contact me and do the need for his daughter? Show me a yes, no for Rabs. Yeah, I am getting a yes. Cut the deck, we have the Emperor. This talks about authority figure. So father figure, authority figure. So I feel like he is going to be stepping up and doing what's best for his family. 10 of Cups talks about being in alignment, harmony, everything being in balance and doing things the way you're supposed to. At the bottom of the deck, we have investment. So investing in what needs to be done here. So I feel hopeful with those cards, Rabs. I am getting a yes. 4 minutes on the clock. If you guys made a donation, please let me know so I can get started with those. Oh, a different kind of question. Now, this is, I just wanted to know what it means when most cards are major arcana in a spread. So I actually talk a lot about this in my free-course tarot class. So if you guys are interested in learning tarot, definitely consider looking it up. It's in my link tree. But the major arcana is 22 cards out of the deck, and it signifies the Fool's journey. You start from the Fool and end with the World. And major arcana talks about major life themes, significant things that are happening in your life at that time. And all the other cards, like the Swords, Pentacles, so on and so forth, are like the details. So think about the major arcana being the main structure of the sentence, but the minor arcana, like the Swords, the Cups, the Pentacles, being like adjectives or words to describe the situation or give more insight or information. So when there's a lot of major arcana in a spread, it just means that whatever you're asking about is significant for your life purpose, for your life calling. It may be teaching you a lesson, or may say if you're asking about someone, that person holds significant weight for you in your life in the way that you move forward. It's a very pivotal time when you have a lot of major arcana or only major arcana in your spread. It just shows that this is like almost like a turning point or a very significant thing that's happening for you. So I hope that makes sense. Miss Lovely. Make sure you guys are posting the correct keyword or emoji into the chat, or you run the risk of your questions getting skipped. You're welcome, Rabs. Miss Lovely says, do you see reconciliation with me and Jay? Let's see here. Do you see reconciliation between me and Jay? For Miss Lovely, I am getting a change coming your way. Have hope and faith in the situation. 8 of Wands. It talks about significant change and news coming your way. It's also a yes card for me. So that's what I've got for you, Miss Lovely. There's like a cleansing happening here within the relationship. So I feel good about it. You're welcome, Nyla. I thought you meant like not a tarot question. I thought you meant like for a reading. So I understand now. You guys can always ask me questions about tarot. I speak. You donated. I think I heard that go off. Since we only have a minute on the clock, I speak. You can go ahead and post. You said you have bad news? I'm sorry to hear that. You're trying to stay positive. 30 seconds on the clock. Ooh, Sharia says, will me and Fatima ever see each other again? Will me and Fatima ever see each other again? Please show me a yes or a no for Sharia's question. Reconciliation. I am getting a yes. Four of Wands indicates taking things to the next level. Six of Cups talks about reconciliation and feeling comfort and fulfillment with someone. So I feel like they are going to miss you so much that they're going to want to be around you and be near you again. So that's it, guys, for the free list. If you are new to me today, you're more than welcome to still ask a question. I will still answer it in between donations. But if you are not new here, that is the end of the free list. KDP sent PayPal. Let's confirm that. Katie, I did get that. Thank you very much for the donation. You're welcome, Miss Lovely. You're welcome, Sharia. All right, so I speak. Oh no. So you want to know how does he feel about the breakup? Yes, Katie, I can confirm that for you. You'll be next on my list, okay? I speak. I am sorry to hear that. I feel like you guys are making such strides and progress, and I'm sure that that's just feels like a setback, you know? Katie, I have your first question. Thank you. So first of all, I speak, he needs you to know, and I feel like maybe you know or you not know, I don't know, that he felt as though he couldn't give you back what you were giving to him. That's what this is about. This isn't about him not wanting to commit to you or not have feelings for you, not care about you. He legitimately just felt like you were giving so much more energy to him than he could return, and he felt like that was fucked up, basically. Like, he thought that was like a really shitty thing, and this really got to him, because he felt like it was clear as day that you were delving out more of your time and energy towards making this work and keeping the communication going and things like that. He said I felt frustrated because he's going back and he wants to communicate once a month with me until he turns so that we said he doesn't want to. Yeah, no, like I get that. The thing is I speak is, and I'm gonna like delve further into this, but I feel like it was definitely more like he saw you giving more to him than what he was giving to you. The issue is that he wasn't willing to do anything about it. It wasn't like, I don't know, a lot of the times I speak, it just feels like I don't want to say like an excuse, but like that's kind of what it feels like, because it's like, oh, I see the Four of Wands in reverse talking about reversing the commitment. So what I don't want to happen is for him to keep you on like this leash. It's like a long leash, but like kind of like lead you on into giving you like maybe a false sense of hope. That's what I'm seeing with the Page of Cups here, is like this could be a false sense of hope right now, because he may not want you to be with anyone else. So he could be saying these things because part of me feels he does feel like he is telling you the truth, that he is being honest with you. But I think that what he's not telling you is the part of himself that he is not sure about and that he is uncertain about. And that's that if he's ever going to be in the place that you want him to be. And it's like, how long can you, I speak, like, hold out, I guess? So it's almost like he's just trying to keep you like on the line because he doesn't want you to go anywhere. He told me he doesn't want me with anybody else and that he wants to be with me after. That's exactly what I just said. Like, the issue is that he doesn't have full confidence in himself that he's ever going to get to that place. And that's how he's feeling about the breakup, is that I think he is concerned that he's never going to get to the point that you need him to be at to feel fulfilled in the relationship, yet he's withholding that information from you and giving you hope. But it's like a false sense of hope because he himself isn't even sure right now. You know what I mean? And I mean, by him saying he doesn't want you to be with anyone else, to you, that shows protectiveness, that shows, oh, he's my man, like he doesn't want anyone else to be with me, like, he cares about me so much. It's like, no, because he is thinking a little bit selfishly, honestly. I'm not saying that he doesn't have feelings for you. It's very clear that he does. I've done plenty of readings to show how much he cares about you. I just feel like the headspace that he's in right now is not agreeable to your future success and your future mental health. And I do see him taking this break with the Four of Swords. I mean, I guess it's nice that communication is still there, still going back and forth. I almost feel like he's getting his cake and eating it too. And I don't say this by wanting to sound malicious, because I don't feel like he's doing this like intentionally selfishly. Because like I said, he does have feelings for you. He does care for you. But he is just thinking about himself in the situation right now. The only part he thinks about you, like from your perspective and what's healthy for you, is that he sees that you're giving more to this than he is, and he does agree that that's unfair. Outside of that, he's got his own shit he's got to deal with, okay? So like I don't know. You said you're right. Katie's over here like it sounds like my reading. All right, let's dig into this a little bit deeper. Hold on. Now he also hasn't lied to you either. Like, that's the part that gets me, is that everything he's saying to you is factual. It's not a lie. He is withholding some things from you about his uncertainty if he's ever going to get to the point that you need him to be at. Um, However, he hasn't lied to you. None of what he has said to you is not true, not truthful. I do feel like he is trying to better himself, but I feel like he's giving you a false sense of hope, because if he knew for a fact that you guys would end up in the same place, in a good place, he would explore that with you now. You know, he wouldn't make you wait to find out. I literally keep seeing him wanting to continue communication. So if that gives you any peace of mind, he is wanting to continue to work on this bond that you guys have with one another, communicate with you, you know, like not kind of let that fall to the wayside. I do see him wanting to continue to talk. The issue I have with this energy is that it seems to really be on his terms, and I feel like kind of committing to you and then backing out, it feels like almost cowardly, you know? Like, it feels like, why would you back out of a situation? Like, what is this? What's going on? He's like retreating. The Knight of Pentacles is in reverse. The Page of Cups is in reverse. The Four of Cups, or Four of Wands, is in reverse. He is torn between two things: the connection that you guys have, the bond that you formed, and the identity that he has with you, the feeling of familial and like-minded kind of like connection that you guys have. He's torn between that and actually the commitment. So he's very much in his head right now about, you know, I think he's even questioning a little bit why, if he feels so strongly about you, why is he the way he is? He's trying to navigate through that as well, because he doesn't quite understand his actions either, which is interesting. Oh, maybe he felt like he rushed into this too soon. I think he feels like he was a bit too hasty with the commitment part of things with you in the relationship. He feels like he hasn't had the chance to break away from his previous life enough to start something new with you. That's actually a really profound information I'm getting, I speak. So I want to say that again. He feels like he has not broken away enough from his previous life. So whether that's the mother of his children, his child, his previous situation up until the point of being with you, to be with you, he has not broken away enough from that to start something new with you. So he needs to maybe cut more ties or become more certain in, you know, the falling away of this other situation. He told me he's not ready yet, that he wasn't ready to be committed to me, but where's the accountability? Notice he takes not baby mama situation. Yes, exactly. The Three of Cups is here. He needs to wash away the past to make way for something new with you. Okay, so he, like I said, have faith that he's going to continue to talk to you, that you're not gonna, it's not just gonna fall silent for like a year, okay? It's gonna be infrequent. However, we do have the Hermit card over top of the Eight of Wands clarifying, which makes me feel like he is gonna go through these periods of solitude. So the inconsistency is likely to continue with that. Um, and also, that's next to the Four of Swords, which talks about going within. So he's likely to continue going on these like quiet times. Truthfully, I speak, I think you're going to give up on the situation before he's able to come back around. That's just my honest prediction. I can see that you're unhappy. Like, oh, and brokenhearted. Maybe you've cried about this, you've been sad about this. I think that you are coming out stronger though. Maybe this isn't wrecking you as much as it usually does, which is interesting. But I still feel like it still hurts because it's like two steps forward, one step back. Like you just feel like you guys just can't ever, it's just not easy, and it's unsatisfying because it's not easy. For sure, tears here with the Three of Swords. I almost feel like the longing for him and the desire that you feel for him through these experiences that you're having with him. Oh, and I cut the deck and the Three of Cups was here again. Is turning into like anger and frustration. And I feel like that's why you're going to want to probably walk away before he's ready to be with you in that way, because it's like you went from having love to patience to maybe frustration, and now like hopelessness, and now it's like turning, because you know everything you've been through, now it's like almost anger at the situation, because like you're just so frustrated, and like it's almost going from like having love and patience for someone and understanding to like now just being angry at their decisions because of what they've put you through. And it's like, what do you have to show for it now? And I think that that's what's going to actually give you the motivation to pull away from this, because I think that you're going to kind of get tired of satisfying his needs. And then, like, the one time you asked for something from him, which is commitment, it's like he couldn't even hang, like, he couldn't even stick with that. That's why I feel like it's going to turn a bit sour here soon. Did you have a second question, I speak? The donation list is open, guys. After I speak, we have Katie, and then we're open after that. It is a 2-for-1, so buy one get one for $15 total. You are more than welcome to take as many spots on the 10-spot list as you'd like. And if you need help processing like a checkout or purchasing a reading, all you have to do is click the link in the pinned comment. It's a link tree. You can choose Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal to make your donation. Hey Rising, how are you? Thank you for the donation. I think I heard that one come through, yeah, on PayPal. Perfect, Rising, thank you. Kendra says she's going to donate as well. You have been patient. I speak, like, honestly, so patient, like so patient. I don't know how you do it. You say you're doing good and feeling better? Good, glad to hear it. Were you sick? I remember you saying you were feeling a little bit under the weather. I wasn't sure if that was like the season changes or if it got worse. You had a cold. It was bad. Jeez. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad you are feeling better though. So I speak. Second question. What's to come from JP, his next actions? What are JP's next actions towards I speak? What can she expect from him? Knight of Pentacles in reverse again. Page of Cups is upright this time. Hanged Man. So one thing I'm initially picking up on is that he still like has hope for you guys. Whether or not you are losing faith, I speak, he still holds on to you. I'm not sure if that's anything you want to hear per se, just because of what's going on right now. I don't know if that makes it harder or easier, but that's how he feels. He's not letting go of you. However, his actions seem very silent. The Hanged Man is here, which talks about postponement and delays, maybe more sacrifices that are needed on your part to make this work. The Seven of Swords is here, which I'm going to get clarification on what specifically, but it does feel like he's doing a little bit more of the same. Seven of Swords can talk about kind of like a sneaky behavior or withholding information from you, not telling you everything. And that doesn't mean cheating or lying or anything like that. But what it does mean is maybe not giving you the full picture of what his intentions are or what he expects to come of this, because maybe he doesn't fully know. And I still feel like even if it's not terrible, like it's not, you know, infidelity or like blatantly lying to you intentionally or keeping secrets, it still in a way is a form of, it's just like kind of like a slap in the face, you know, because he's not fully giving you the full picture. And I feel like that is a little bit selfish and that is a little bit unfair, because without fully making you aware of his intentions, he is taking away your right to decide how you want this to move forward. If he gives you hope in something that he's not 100% sure will happen, then you're making decisions based off of a false reality or expectation. So he's kind of taking your autonomy away, and when it comes to making decisions, if that makes sense, like he's not letting you make a knowledgeable intellectual choice for yourself moving forward. If he's just trying to give you hopes of future time together and coming back together and being together, because then it keeps you tethered to one another in a false sense of security. So I feel like a little bit more of that. I feel like if you were to have a conversation with him, it would be like pulling teeth to try to have him explain to you what he truly thinks this future is with you, because I don't think that he honestly knows, but he's acting like he does. You said he was going to come visit me once he's back in Miami. He's in a very independent energy. Don't get me wrong, he likes spending time with you. It's not that. He does want to see you, he does want to hang out with you. But the commitment that comes with that, I don't know. I'm having a hard time rooting for him. I really am. It's like he gives you facts and he gives you truths, and everything that comes out of his mouth is the truth. But he knows what he's doing, and he's intentionally wording things a certain way to where he can't ever say, I didn't lie to you. And it's kind of a manipulative tactic for how he's approaching you, because like I said, he is being honest. Everything he is saying is true. But the thing is the what is he not telling you to make these 100% truths? That's what concerns me about this. Yeah. Exactly. He's trying to make sure his cans are clean of this. Not like he's washing away this relationship you guys have, but he is trying as hard as he can to keep you tethered to him. And so he doesn't lie. He specifically makes sure that the things he's telling you are things that either he really believes or things that are actually the truth. But what he's not telling you, what's kind of under the rug, is that he is uncertain about y'all's future. Even though he says, I don't want you to be with anyone else, that's true. But saying something like that gives you a false sense of hope that he will be committed to you one day. If he doesn't want to see you with someone else, that can make you feel like, oh, he's my man, he's protective, like he doesn't want me to be with anyone else. But what I see is that's controlling. I see that that's a way to keep you like on his hook, so to speak. And that's what concerns me about this, is because I don't think he 100% knows if y'all are truly going to end up together. But he says things a certain way and expresses things to you a certain way that makes you think that that's where this is going, and therefore he takes away your decision. Because if you knew the full story, you probably would make different choices when it comes to him. But he just tells you what, it's just strategic. That's all I can say, is it's very strategic. And as far as his actions towards you, it's very minimal. I don't see much changing. I see him wanting to basically control how things go within your relationship. I feel like for you, it's a lot more sacrifices on your part. Yeah, like I said in the last reading, it's like he wants his cake and he wants to eat it too. And here we go with the Page of Wands and the Nine of Cups. This is literally someone who just does whatever they want to do to get whatever they want. And he's still in an independent energy here. Not to say that he's completely like not wanting to be with you one day. It's just he's not there. He doesn't know if he's ever going to be there. And therefore, it gives you a false sense of security for y'all's future together. And that's what's bugging me about the energy he's in right now. Do you think it's manipulation on purpose, or comes off that way? It's unfair that we speak on his terms and I don't want it to be that way. I 100% agree. It shouldn't just be on his terms, but it's a lot more of like, that's what his plan is here. Manipulation. The word manipulation is so strong that like, I don't think he goes into it saying, oh, I'm going to manipulate her. I'm going to get her to bend at my will and do everything that I want. But do I think that he's strategic in how he communicates with you? Yes. Do I think that he is intentional with the truths that he gives to you versus the other things that maybe you should also be disclosed? Yes, I feel like that is true. And whether or not that's manipulation, I don't feel like he's a bad person, but I do feel like he bends things to work in his favor, and at the very least, that is a manipulative tactic. I don't feel like he's doing anything to hurt you. I feel like he's more concerned about how this works for him and works out in his favor. So he is being more selfish. That's not to say he doesn't care about you, but I just feel like he's focusing more on himself than anyone else at this time, which he's told you that's what he wants to do. So, I mean, it's kind of right on the money. Yeah, for sure. I feel like what he does tell you is the truth, but I feel like he withholds a lot of things. And therefore, and that's not being, that's it's kind of lying in a way. I mean, honestly, I've been in that position before, and I can tell you I'm not with that person anymore. But that's my experience, and each relationship is unique, each relationship is different, so it's hard to say what to do, but I can tell you that I've had a similar situation and I'm no longer with that person. It's so much easier to live a life with equal give and take, balanced effort and consistency. It's like the most basic of the basic things that you should ask for when you're with someone. And if they can't even give you that, like, it's just a stressful life. Katie, go ahead and post your question whenever you're ready. You're welcome, I speak. I definitely agree. You said you're giving up. I definitely feel like just don't put as much of your energy into that you're not getting back, because you're just continuing to give pieces of yourself away to and not getting replenished, So it's like, how much more do you have left to give? I completely forgot that Katie already posted her question. Katie, if you're in here, I'm about to do your reading. Katie says, what will happen with Jordan and me after today before the end of the year? Let's timestamp Katie in case she's not in here. We'll do 51 minutes. Katie's reading. What will happen with Jordan and me after today before the end of the year? Dane's coming?
Oh yeah, is he here?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting his iPods.
Oh.
Earbuds. What the hell they're called?
AirPods.
Yeah.
I was like, excuse me. What?
My brain was just like.
Is he hanging?
Nah, I think he's just getting those.
Okay. Alright.
Was that him?
Yeah, he'll be here in a second. Okay, Katie. So I feel like there is a collective energy. So when you were in here and we were doing I Speaks reading and you were saying it sounds very similar to mine, I would have to agree with you on that. I am seeing you unsatisfied, unfulfilled, typically, generally unhappy with the way that things go. I think there are bursts of happiness. I think in excitement and fun, and I think you guys really do have a good time when you can make it work to spend time with one another. And so I think that these micro doses of joy are really what keep you going throughout this connection that you two have. And I think because it's so infrequent and also maybe the connection feels rare or unique in its own way, that's making you feel that it's something extra special. And maybe it is. What I'm having trouble seeing is future commitment. We do have the Four of Wands in reverse. As you all know, Four of Wands is a great card to come upright. It talks about taking the next step. It means that there's progress, momentum, things are building, and that you have created something concrete on a solid foundation. Hey, Katie, if you want to scroll back a little bit, I started your reading about 3-ish minutes ago. I was shuffling and I just got started like a minute ago. He's scarred. Oh, God. Yeah, so I guess that's where I'm kind of feeling a similarity to I Speak's reading, although I will say yours feels lighter. I Speak is more of like a heavy, there's just a heaviness that surrounds it, and I don't know if that's because there's like a feeling of hopelessness. I feel like, Katie, you do to some extent do have hope for this connection still. Like, it feels lighter, it feels more fun, but I think also you realistically can see this for what it is, and therefore you're not putting as much hope or all of your eggs in his basket, so to speak, because maybe you already have this intuitive notion that like it is what it is, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. I think that you have hope for it, but I just don't feel like it's something that, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like, what is the word? Devastating. Like, it doesn't feel like a solid loss. And I don't know if that's because it's in the newer stages. If you just are the type of person that doesn't let things get to you emotionally as much, or maybe you feel like you're more pragmatic, more realistic, more logical. I don't necessarily think that it's done forever, no. But I do feel like it's going to be a lot more of the same, and you have to like be okay with that. Now it could change. There are positive cards here. There's the Sun, there's the Wheel of Fortune, there's Strength. You have quite a bit of major arcana in this 10 card spread. But what I do see is the way that things have been going, that trajectory is going to pretty much remain for the foreseeable future. I see you stepping up into your power as the queen. I'm not seeing your man next to you. I'm not seeing a masculine energy here by your side and being your equal.
I'll see you soon, man. Later.
He has been doing this shit for six months, and I'm tired. Yeah, and that's, Katie, probably why I feel like you'll maybe that's why you're not as attached to the outcome, because I don't know what it is about you in this energy that I'm getting, but I feel like you're more logical. I feel like you're just like, okay, like I'd give this a chance if I knew it was going to go somewhere. But at the same time, you're not very attached to the outcome. I don't really know how else to word this, but like it seems more like I mean, I guess now that I understand this has been going on for a little while, then maybe you're just over it. And therefore there's not as much expressed in like a desire or a longing or an attachment, because you're pretty much done. It felt very similar to if something had just got started, like if someone was on like a new journey with someone, their feelings aren't involved, they're not as invested, so therefore if things stopped and didn't work out, that's fine because there's no heartbreak there. That's what it felt like. Now that I see this has been going on for some time, maybe you're just tired, maybe you're just over it, and therefore that's why you're not attached to what happens. But I just feel like you're not satisfied, you're not happy, you don't like the way this has been. It has made you feel unsteady, maybe a little bit lost at times, and you feel like you're putting a lot more into this than you're getting out as well. So as far as what will happen with you guys after today, before the end of the year, it does feel like a lot of the same. My hope for you is, if you really want to be with this person, that maybe you guys can change the outcome of this reading. You can alter it in some way, but it just feels like not huge changes, really, at least when it comes to commitment. Maybe more conversation, maybe more feelings, maybe more sex, but not a solid relationship. Linda, yes, the $15 spot is still open, actually. Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, you can click the link in the pinned comment. Okay, so Katie, question number 2. What's coming next for me in love? For Katie, please. Katie, gotta get away from these egos, man. There's these men that keep coming into your life and they're just chasing validation from external sources. They are trying to get their ego inflated. And I feel like you're very good at that. I feel like you're very good at making people feel good about themselves. And I feel like that's unfortunately why a lot of assholes are attracted to you, it seems. But at the same time, you have this air about you that if they screw up, they suffer. I don't know, it's kind of witchy. It's like you have this like karmic spell that you put on these people once they leave. I see people continuing trying to chase after that. The devil talks about negative attachments, addictions, sexuality, but in a way that's like instant gratification, not like sacred sex or like loving and being in love. It's more about just like the end results, and exploring that. And I just feel like you get surrounded. I almost said you surround yourself, but I don't think that's that. I think you get surrounded by these people who are drawn to you and drawn to your lights. Linda, thank you so much. I'll confirm that in just a second, okay? Like I almost feel like you become this beacon for other people to like go to. Maybe you vibe a little bit higher, like just above them, and they're drawn to you in that way. I feel like they get to the point where I don't know, there's something coming through. I'm not getting the full story. It's like other girls don't compare to you, yet there's men that have you for something, but still like explore other people. Hold on. I'm not getting the full story here. Why is the Three of Cups here? Why is it this? Do you push your social circles out? Like when you get into a connection with someone, do you make them your whole world? And then your friendships and things can fall to the wayside. There's something here about connection, social circles, like either being non-existent or like not being nourished the way that they should be, or maybe not heeding the warnings from people that care about you. I'm not sure. There's something here about that. Why is the Three of Cups here? Maybe this causes conflicts between you and other people. I don't see. Let me backtrack. I do see someone romantic coming in for you. I will say they have a lot of growing up to do, but they are more on your level. I do feel like it's someone new. But I feel like they're more willing to give you the things that you want, but I feel like they have a lot of growing up to do, a lot of maturing to do. However, they're more emotionally intellectual than these other people that you have been with in the past. They will get to a king, they will become a king, they will become someone of authority. And I feel like through you, they are going to get there. Not that you have to parent them or nurture them, but you may, just by being you, expose them to something new that helps them get to that king mentality. It does feel like a relationship. No, that's okay, Katie. It's like I'm getting two stories. I'm getting like you're worried about these people you're with being with other people and either cheating or not committing to you so that they can fool around with other people. But I am getting, or maybe they feel that way. I don't know, but I have, like, on the flip side of that, in another relation or another interpretation I'm getting is that a lot of friends are falling at the wayside, friends or family. Maybe they're giving opinions and expressing and you're ignoring, or maybe you're making this person, you're more concerned with this person, and like your relationships are suffering. I don't know, there's some type of struggle or competition, and possibly maybe even Jordan like worried you're going to be with someone else. But it's very clear when it comes to social groups, and other people involved in your relationship, there is some type of struggle or conflict. I feel like you are burdened by the people that you have romantic connections with. I feel like they do not serve you. And you feel like in the end, you're carrying the weight of the connection to keep the light on, to keep things going, to keep the flame from burning out. You put this on your back. You said, man, that's all I wanted. Jordan was just freaked out of that. What was he freaked out about? But I have to say, it's almost like your life is split into two right now. It seems like you're dealing with what wants to come in for you, this Knight of Cups, this potential relationship. But it's like, for whatever reason, like these other men are drawn to you. I'm including Jordan in this. And wanting to give the bare minimum and get the most out of it. And it's almost like you're stuck in the middle of like, which way do you go? He realized how much compromise a relationship requires. It actually, what's crazy about that is it doesn't require compromise. Like, if he wanted to, he would. That's the part that kills me, is it's like if someone wants to be with you, it's not a compromise. It's not a compromise to spend more time with you and make you a priority. It's a desire. It's not a compromise to not sleep with other people. It's a desire. It's not a compromise to give you more quality time. It's a desire. Like, that's what's crazy to me, is that some of you guys will come on here and be like, oh, it's just such a compromise. Like, we just have to compromise. We just have to meet in the middle. And I'm like, yeah, if y'all were married, if y'all had been together for 5, 10, 15 years, yeah, maybe you need to make some compromises and meet in the middle. But nah, if y'all aren't even in a relationship yet, it should not be this difficult. So I feel like you should probably like kind of take a breath, take all this into consideration, see where things go after you guys hang out, you know, and then go from there. But as far as like, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's somebody who wants to come in for you, and they probably will here soon. Let me see if I can get timing. So, yeah. And it's definitely hard. I mean, I'm not saying that it isn't. You guys have your own life. You have your own history. You know what I mean? You have your own wounds and scars and everything else. But maybe he just needs to be honest with you and tell you he just doesn't want to be in a relationship. This new person coming in, can you give me timing, please? This new person coming in, can you give me timing? Preach, Luna. All right, so we have the Queen of Pentacles and Four of Wands. So give me 1 second while I look up my timing grid. Ooh, interesting. This person could come in between the end of the year, of this year, and April 20th, roughly, is what I'm getting. Aries season. So that's cool. He doesn't want to give anything because he doesn't want a relationship, right? And you do, I assume. So, you know, if you guys were just friends, just hanging out, and you guys wanted the same thing, there's nothing wrong with not being committed to one another. But if one person wants it and the other person doesn't, then that's when you guys have to reevaluate. Rising Storm, you can go ahead and post your question. after Rising Storm, we have Kendra, and then we have Linda. You're welcome, Katie. Thank you for the donation. Oh, I just saw you commented a couple of things you said. Sounds like Jordan is still hanging around, sucking energy out of me, right? And I keep allowing it. Commitment is more than being exclusive. Exactly. All right, let's take a look. Hey, babe. Thank you. What could possibly happen between me and James? Can you please show me a potential? What's the possibilities of what could happen between Rising Storm and James? Ooh, I like that to first come out straight away. 10 of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Let me turn on the light real quick. It's getting dark early today, lately. So a lot of times when I see the Three of Swords, I interpret that as past tense. But I feel like it's kind of flowing through you both at this time. I feel like it's kind of a web that's weaved like in all of your potential timelines. Is this pain? That's like the center focus of like, it might be the distance, you know, the separation, the feeling like you guys just can't figure it out or get it to like, I don't know, come through. It's like there's just this underlying sadness despite the overflowing feelings and the love that you guys share. I truthfully, Rising Storm, depending on the choices that you guys both make, I see you guys being together in the end. The Ten of Pentacles talks long term. It talks about everlasting relationships and the things and the people that you want there at the end of your life, like throughout your life and at the end of your life. Winter is coming. I see that this person has your best interest at heart, which could possibly be why there's this in and out energy, or maybe he keeps his distance from you in general, because he does want what's best for you. Maybe he doesn't always feel that that's him, but I feel like he cares about you a lot. And I feel like just deep down, his true hope is love with you. The Ace of Cups is here. Oh, I heard watching. He watches you. I think he pays as much attention to you as you do to him. Like, I think you guys said you're like close by or something, but you're also a social media presence as well. So he could like keep an eye on you in that regard too. Like, just kind of see what you're up to, keep an eye on things, kind of peeking on this and that. Does he know you read? Because I see him like occasionally, like maybe popping in on a chat to hear your voice, or watching like things that you post. But because of the close proximity, despite the distance that you feel, he's also kind of keeping an eye on things over on your side. I think he does wonder about you. I think he is curious about you. That's coming through. I know that's not your question, but it's there. So let me see if anything else is coming through, because I'm like, I feel like there's a story here and I'm trying to pick it up. Yeah, for sure. He's definitely watching. I'm like hearing him say, I wish I could make things different. I wish there wasn't so much in our way. I wish like these obstacles just didn't exist. He feels a sense of guilt because of the decisions that he makes, puts him in the predicaments that he's in. And he realizes that these impulsive moves or choices hinder his ability to be happy with you moving forward. And I feel like he keeps digging himself further and further into the thick of it. And that makes it harder for him to get to you. And I think that he is frustrated with himself. I truly feel like he views his human experiences, maybe turmoil or inconveniences and things like that, he views them as way a bigger deal than they actually are. He allows these excuses to come about to get in between you guys and your relationship with one another. I feel like you guys could make it work if we didn't make such trivial things such a big deal. But we do, because we're human, right? And what I mean by this is, like, let's just say someone's in a relationship over here and someone's in a relationship over here. But these two people really want to be together, but they're in relationships. It's like the end of the world for them to end these relationships and be together. It's like, but why? If you don't want to be with this person anymore, and you don't want to be with this person anymore, and y'all want to be together, why can't you end those relationships? Because we as humans make a bigger deal out of things than they actually are. It's so much simpler. And spirit up above would be like trying to yell at us and be like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, yes, it sucks. Yes, you're going to hurt feelings. Yes, it's a shitty thing to do. But in order for you to be happy, we create these obstacles intentionally to keep ourselves distant from one another, to keep ourselves from being able to come together. And that's one of the most frustrating things about being human. And I just feel like that's what it is with James. Like he's like, oh, well, now this happened, so now that pushes me even further away from her. And it's like, but he's frustrated with himself because he is also doing this to himself. He is making these choices, whether they've been thought through or they're impulsive or whatever. He's using them as a wall to keep himself separated from you. But then he gets mad at himself for it. He views you as someone who's maternal, nurturing, loving, independent. You handle your shit. He has so much respect for you, and as a matter of fact, he feels that you guys are a perfect match for one another. I feel like you've seen him grow up a lot. Like he's acknowledging that you kind of seen him through different stages, and you've seen him kind of change, probably, I'm assuming, for the better. But he's like showing me this like evolution of himself that you have experienced, that you have been through with him or seen. Even if you weren't in the thick of it with him, like even at a distance, he's saying like, she knows me really well. She's seen what I've been through. She knows how I've changed and how I've grown. And he views you as kind of like an anchor that's kept him grounded. And the decisions that he makes towards growth and personal development, he does with you in mind, as like you are his inspiration to do that. He is undecided, as well as I think you are a little bit, as to which way this is going to go. I truthfully feel like there's multiple outcomes for you guys. The sad part is there's an underlying sadness. No matter what road you take, it's almost like in your gut, you know that maybe this might not be, maybe this might not work. And that's like a pang that's like unsettling. I feel like the highest potential is you guys are together, which is a really great high potential, because I don't always see that. A lot of times the highest potential is you get your heart broken, you know. I don't see that though. I see the highest potential as you guys actually finding a way to navigate through all of these obstacles and finding your way back to each other. Do I feel like that's set in stone? No. But I think that is a potential here. That's what I was saying, that it's not going to work. It really all depends on what decisions you guys make. The Seven of Pentacles is here very strongly, like more so him, but also you, but more so him. He's very deep in thought. And I feel like everything that he does that gets in the way of you guys being together is like he feels like is a punishment that he deserves. And he finds this odd comfort in the fact that there's an obstacle, because that this is more comfortable to him being without you than possibly being with you and maybe getting hurt or losing you, and not in the way that you guys are going to break up, but even just getting so close to someone that, you know, for instance, death happens, you know. Like I think that he is scared to get that close to anybody. He's scared to let himself get that close to someone. Not because of heartbreak, but because of separation and things being out of his control, and, you know, him losing you or something. This is easier for him. This is more comfortable to him. So he subconsciously will do things that, you know, what's the word? Sabotage, self-sabotage. Yeah, he's a little morbid in his thought process. He's like, you know, for instance, let's just say he decides to be with the ex or this girl that's kind of in and out of his life. He doesn't really care to lose her. Like, he's not scared of it, you know? Like, he would be upset, of course, but I don't feel like he's as in love with her that like he would be completely devastated. And I feel like he just, I don't know, this is easier. This is just easier for him. So yeah, I mean, I see a possibility of, if you accept him as he is, where he is in this stage of life, he will offer something to you. He will offer a date, or even just a, you know, a conversation to maybe explore the options. He does have a lot of love for you, but then there's the other thing of him being closed off. So the highest possible is you guys being together. I can at least say that for sure. And then maybe, yeah, I don't know, because I see him wanting to reconcile with you. This is kind of crazy. Like, I see him wanting to come together with you again. So I guess I'll just leave it there. We'll keep that good juju out in the air. Hey, Benjamin, how are you? What is your second question, Rising Storm? Kendra, whenever you're ready, you can post your question. All right, let's see. Here, we're looking for a time frame when he'll reach out and or make a move to Rising Storm. When will he reach out and or make a move to Rising Storm? All right, so we have two here, two cards. Maybe it's a range. Wow. Girl, this is insane. Okay, so this is why I'm like not able to give a concrete answer. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, we have Judgment. And that means no timing or there could be changes, okay? So I'm over here like, all right, well, what actually came out of the deck? We have immediately. And then we have next year. Two of Swords, which is September 23rd to October 2nd. So the fact that there's no timing or the timing could change, and then there's something that means immediately now, and there's something that means a year from now, it kind of feels like, I hate to say it, but like it's not set in stone yet. I think it's let's put it this way. You'll hear from him by next month or before the end of the year. If you don't, I seriously think it could be all the way until next year. Like that you really hear from him or him trying to make a move on you. Something tells me, and I'm trying to understand this because I think you said that there's like a pregnancy involved. And I'm kind of wondering if maybe he's trying to navigate through this to see your reaction and or how he's going to play this out. I think he thinks about reaching out to you probably on a weekly basis, if not daily basis. And I think that that's where the immediately is coming from. But I think that he wonders how you're going to react to this. Oh, she did. Have you talked since then? Have you talked? Has it been a while? Have you talked since either she got pregnant? I feel like, I'm just going to say it, I feel like he's not happy. Not a word. I feel like he's not happy. So like the Two of Swords specifically means September, what is it? September 23rd through October 2nd, which that has passed. However, the swords do indicate wintertime and or 2 days, 2 weeks. So my honest opinion is you could hear from him before the end of the year. Let's just go with that. Let's go with before the end of the year because I feel really good saying that. That you'll hear from him before the end of the year. That feels right to me. Because both of these cards talk about fast movement. I truthfully feel like he actually has started like trying to reach out to you. I don't know if it means going to your house, typing up a text, or doing something, but like it's like he's been like, okay, I'm gonna put my shoes on, I'm gonna go knock on the door, or let me get out my phone, actually pull up a text message and like think about what to say. Like I feel like he's been so close so many times that I feel like this is just bound to happen. He is in an energy of really thinking about you a lot. So we're gonna go with before the end of the year. That's what I feel confident with saying. I mean, that doesn't surprise me when you said I reached out to him with a letter, never got anything back. He probably wasn't in the mindset, the headspace to reciprocate and or receive something like that. You also, I mean, I don't know what happened, but something that just came to mind is what if the letter got ruined before he read it? Did he know about it for sure? Did this girl like rip it up, burn it, and throw it away? Like, I feel like no matter what the outcome is, he either didn't receive it or he wasn't in the energy of receiving at that time. I feel like he is changing right now. You're welcome, Rising Storm. Thank you for the donation. Is one of the things on your vision board traveling? Like, did you put like a specific country you want to go to or a specific place? Is there a car, a jet, an airplane? I don't know, something about like going somewhere. Every time I see the Hierophant for you, I see like acting classes. Specifically with this deck, I see it. You did put a car. Okay. All right. So that's here for you. Benjamin, thank you for the donation. I'll get to you shortly. You put a car that you want and a plane for travel. Okay. It's all making sense. Ooh, this is an interesting message. Partly opening up your heart chakra is kind of what I'm getting, is you're opening up and delving more into your emotions. But I don't know if that's in like your personal life or if that just means like you want to delve more into that when it comes to acting. Maybe like you want to get better at your craft and being able, you like have certain niches that you're really good at with acting that you feel like you've got down, but like being more emotional with your acting. Like, I don't know, like, is it crying? Is this, there's something here about like evolving your craft and becoming more confident in your acting ability. So for instance, you have, let's just say you got it down. You can be the nice girl. You can be the mean girl. You can be, maybe you got a couple accents that you feel like you do pretty well. I'm just giving you examples. But I feel like when you are acting, I feel like there's certain areas that you feel that you're hardest on yourself, and that could be coming across getting emotions on screen. You're, having that range. So I feel like you said, I want to be more in tune with my emotions and evolve as an actor because I can never stop learning. Exactly. And so I feel like, I'm not sure if that was on your vision board, like more acting classes or something along the lines, but I see you delving deeper within yourself as you evolve, as I don't know, just to give yourself that range. You're like digging deeper. So if that's a part of your manifestation in some way, or your manifestation board, or maybe just intentions that you've put out there, I see that happening for you. What I love in a vision board reading is when you get the Magician, because the Magician specifically talks about you holding that power, you wielding that wand. This is the card of manifestation itself. So to me, it's telling me that you are making this happen. These things, it's like you're not looking at this happening to you. You're actually doing it. It's alchemy. It's you setting your intentions and making it happen. I see you definitely more in a masculine energy in this reading, but it's good because I feel like you've already thought of and had the creative side of the things that you want, the things that you desire. But now it's more like you need to step into that of like making it actually happen. I don't know if you put a relationship on your vision board. I don't know if that's something you necessarily want at this time. But I feel like whatever aspect you were either thinking or putting, there is sex here. Yeah, so you've got that coming your way. You made it a goal of yours and you did write it down. Okay, perfect. I did put a man on my board. Okay. Because I'm like, there's for sure sex here. Maybe even a relationship with the Hierophant, but I see like with the Eight of Swords above the moon, Scorpio energy, just very like not even indulgent, just like super sexual in nature. So seeing that. But I see emotional range. Okay, so I'm assuming that's in your acting career, but this can also be in your personal life as well. I see you. There's so much to do with acting here. Like the Three of Pentacles, I'm even seeing this as running lines, reading a script, creating this beauty. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's like the Magician almost looks like the power is going up into this card. So when our power goes up and out, that's how you create the manifestations that you want, but it's also how you connect with your spiritual team to help you make it happen. It's going through your crown chakra. Maybe work on that, work on crown chakra, work on that open communication out the top of your head. A lot of crown chakra activation, and from what I know and understand, it comes a lot from like meditation and using your intuition. I was told by a psychic to be more specific. Oh, you said I'm guessing I'm on the right path with my vision board. That's kind of crazy, right? Like car, plane, a man. And also like your intentions you set to help evolve your acting. But your psychic told you to be more specific about short-term and long-term manifestation. So I made a list and I made a vision board. I feel like you're getting there, Kendra. Like the change in you, the growth that I have seen, and I also feel like I'm speaking on behalf of your spiritual team, on your guides, but like there's been profound growth with you, in your reactions, even in the way that you react to things, the way that you're definitely more in an open, receptive type of state of mind, where instead of like pushing back or being defensive or reacting and looking at things negatively, well then why isn't it working for me? You're in a very open, attracting energy. You're more receptive, which is why you're even probably going to go out in public, and you're probably like, people are probably gonna be so nice to you. Like you're gonna be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I didn't see you, or did you want to go in front of me, you only have a couple items. Like I feel like even the world around you is starting to change. I feel like people are definitely more drawn to you, more attracted to you, maybe liking your posts or your social media more. I just feel like you're definitely in this attracting instead of chasing energy, and it's like all of a sudden something clicked, you know. I don't know where it was, but definitely since you and I started doing readings together, it's like so different now. And it's so amazing to see. And so when you talk about being aligned, I feel like you are very close to that. It's definitely kind of like working a muscle, right? Like if you stop working it, then it gets weaker. So, but just keep doing what you're doing for sure. You think your move made it click for you? A lot of guys have been hitting you up. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of crazy. You're in attracting energy. But basically, what I'm getting from this is that it's more like, I see you, Kendra. Like, I hear them saying, like, I see you, I see what you want. We're going to make it happen, because I'm getting, it's almost like by saying, oh, car, or by saying man, or by saying plane, I feel like that was just supposed to be for you, Kendra, to know that they're hearing you, or that they've seen this vision board, or they've read these intentions, and they're like acknowledging it, so that way you know that y'all are on the same page. I definitely feel it's good to focus on short-term and long-term manifestations. That way you can put your focus on one thing at a time. I think that's what makes it hard, is when you have so many things that you want, and then, like for instance, say you want this and this, but you want it all at the same time, but you're really focusing on this, then the universe starts going, okay, well, we're going to work on that. And you're like, but I want this too. So then like, okay, so we'll stop here. We'll keep working on this one. And you're like, oh wait, I want this again. And you're like, okay, you know what I mean? Whereas if you, and then nothing's happening with this over here because you're not focusing on it. Whereas if you focus on one thing at a time, get this to the finish line, and then get this to the finish line, and then get this to the finish line. And so maybe that's why the psychic was saying is like, just focus on like one thing at a time, and what your short-term and long-term manifestations are, because they can all start moving. They for sure can, but where you put your focus on, if you're focusing on everything at once, it's going to take forever for everything to get where you want, for you to start seeing results. And so you really can do it either way, but just know that one, it might take longer if you're trying to manifest like a million things at one time. Exactly, Kendra. That's like the key to it. Do what makes you happy and aligns. All right, so what's the second reading that I can do for you? Do you have a question? After Kendra, we have Linda. Linda, if you're in here, you can ask your question. Remember, today is a BOGO, guys, so you can get 2 questions for the price of 1. You don't have to claim the BOGO, but I would recommend it. Because who doesn't like 2 for the price of 1? After Linda, we have Benjamin. You're mainly manifesting career and love. That's perfect. It's really hard to stay focused on one thing at a time when you have so much inspiration coming to you left and right. Like, I can literally tell you like probably at least 5 projects off the top of my head that I want to do, that I want to get started, or maybe even more than that. And so when inspiration is flowing, it's beautiful. But it's like, how do you focus on just one thing at a time? It's a lot. It's hard. It's not easy. So I respect all that you're doing, Kendra, and everything that you're working towards, because I, for one, understand what it's like to want to just do so many things or want to be in so many places, and like it's just hard to focus on one thing at a time. You're like, why is this inspiration coming to me if I'm only supposed to focus on one thing at a time? But I guess it's not for us to know. It's just, we have to just make sure that, you know, our manifestations are coming through, and you have to focus on what's priority, and then everything else will start to kind of fall into place. That's how I believe it to be. All right, so let's see. Kendra says, how come Justin is now noticing me on Insta? Is it because I've been ignoring his? Kendra, has he been like recognizing a lot? Like, has he been liking things, and has he messaged you or anything like that? Okay, so I think you are onto something with ignoring his, but I don't think that that's the sole reason why. I will say it's something that he has noticed, but you are definitely more in a light, like there's an essence about you that's very light and airy right now. You look successful, even if you don't feel it. There's just this vibe about you that's being given off. And I think that when you show it, I mean, I see it when I look at your social media. It's like there's just this confidence exuding from you, and this happiness, and who wouldn't want to be a part of that, you know? And so it's like, I think maybe before you could have possibly been putting this negative attachment vibe out into the world by like putting yourself out there first, that people could have viewed you as, oh, this, you know, this person's really needy, or this person's really clingy, which that was not the case at all. You were just trying to be nice. But I think that once you shift the focus more onto yourself, it's like people want to be a part of that. They want to be around that. And then I think he might have been like, oh wait, she actually is kind of cool. Like, I like her vibe. I like who she is. I like the energy that she gives off. And so, like I said, you're in a more attracting place. He's been liking stuff and looking at the story, which he didn't start doing until I stopped doing that to him. So yeah, he's for sure noticing the lack of attention you're giving on his page. And like I said, he gets a lot of attention. He probably gets a lot of DMs as well, because he gives off success. He gives off intelligence. He gives off like an audience, adoration. He gives off a man of means, you know, like he definitely gives off this thing that somebody wants. Someone wants to be a part of, or someone wants a part of him. And so he is probably used to the attention. And therefore, when you're not giving it anymore, he's like, oh, wait, she's different. Like, she's not like these other people that just want something from me. And now it's fun for him because he actually gets to be the person to not only reciprocate what you've done, but also initiates. And I'm sure that makes you feel good. I can see. He said, I'm trying to be nice, and people took that for granted, so now I'm just focused on me. That's what I'm saying. And like, it probably is flattering for you, probably feels good, but honestly, what I know about you, Kendra, is you're like Queen of Swords. Like, you cut people off. Like, you give interest. If they don't give enough back to you, you're like, bye. And there's nothing wrong with that either, but it's like, that sucks for him because it's like now he's like really taking the time to notice you and learn about you and see what you're up to, and it's like now you have the ick or you have a bad taste in your mouth about the situation, like not even sure if you'd ever want to go back down that road again because you have moved on. And I think that that's also unfortunately very attractive to men. Like the masculine energy, they just crave that shit. So, and exactly, it's not entertaining for you. Like it's not exciting for you. If someone's not interested, it's like boring. Yeah, you are very Queen of Wands. It's like you're Queen of Wands first, and then you become Queen of Swords. I think there is an attraction that he has for you, no doubt. I think it's been like that since day one, but he truthfully hasn't given you the time of day. But he is viewing you as the Empress, which is like goddess energy. We love the Empress card coming up, especially in like a reading where someone's taking an interest or a liking to you, because they're viewing you as the ultimate feminine. They're viewing you very beautiful. They're viewing you as, and when I say ultimate feminine, as a feminine, it's a compliment. It just means that you are high caliber, high value. You surpass just the mundane. You are, you know, wife material. You are mother material. Whether you view yourself that way or not, this is how they're viewing you. Let's see. Are other people, other men commenting on your stuff? Not sure. I feel like he is seeing you get compliments from other people. You're getting a lot of likes on your posts, and you know, not only that, but you're getting the adoration from people in your life. And I think that that's very like big for him. Is it's not just you posting yourself. The things you're posting is the people who are in your life that love you and just think you're gorgeous or want to be around you. They're actually the ones taking the footage. You know what I mean? And so they're bringing your beauty to the surface and highlighting it. And I think that that speaks volumes, because if someone is taking a video of you and telling you, you know, how pretty you are, or even takes the time out of their day to take a video of you in that moment, that's so candid. And it's not like you taking a selfie of yourself and being like, oh, look at me. You're not. It's, you can clearly see in a lot of the footage that you're getting is it's a photo shoot or it's a video, or someone is taking inventory of you in that moment and appreciating you for who you are. And when other people appreciate you, it makes you that much more attractive. He could be eating crow just a little bit, or maybe not making a move on you as quickly as maybe he should have. I think he's the type of person that kind of, he works hard for his career, but I feel like when it comes to other things in life, he kind of sits back and just lets things happen. And even though it's attractive to him to put effort in and kind of initiate conversation and be the man, you know, where you're kind of like in that chasing kind of energy, I still feel like he does enjoy when things go his way very easily. And so maybe he's viewing you as being a little bit harder to get than he thought he would be. Men love bitches, let's be honest. Oh, it's kind of true. I don't know what that is all about, but it's true. They walk all over women that they need, and they want the women that they don't need, that aren't good for them. It's crazy. Benjamin says, I like meek and shy women. That's true, Benjamin, but what it probably means is you just have more of a balance between your masculine and with feminine energy within yourself. You probably think it's adorable and it's sweet and it's feminine, you know, for women to be more on like the reserved side, but that just probably means you have more balance within yourself. Whereas a lot of masculines out there, which Benjamin, you could probably agree, even if you don't include yourself in that, that they might be a little bit scarred or have had like a not so great upbringing, and they go after people who are not willing to reciprocate it, and they're chasing after this validation, and a lot of times the validation's given by the bitches. So Kendra says, I'm mysterious and I don't show on my cards. They walk all over the nice ones and say they want the nice ones, but then chase the fuck out of the mean ones. Most of them don't even be mean to be mean. They're just focused on themselves. Although it is nice to see a woman be a bitch when she must. I can't believe Justin thought I'd be easy boy, but I've never been easy. I'm an Aries woman. So yeah, it's a little bit of everything, Kendra, but it's like that hard to get cat and mouse kind of thing. Kendra, thanks so much for the donation. Linda, if you are here, if you can post your question, please. I can't say I'm not attracted to the ones that aren't good for me and emotionally unavailable. Stems from childhood. And I think that's what Kendra was trying to say, is like there's a lot of women that are good for men and they kind of just like, yeah, nah. And then, you know, so I kind of feel like at least you're acknowledging that, Benjamin, and I feel like that's what's important, is that you acknowledge where you think it's stemming from. You are working on yourself, you're realizing that about yourself, and I feel like once you can acknowledge that about yourself, then it kind of opens up this whole new world for you. I know. I don't get it either, Kendra. I wish I could delve into the minds of, you know, the general masculine mindset. Like, I don't know what they think or how they think, or I don't know. That's one thing it's hard for me to understand. Like, that's why it blows my mind when I'm channeling and I get some of the insight that I do, because I don't understand what it's like to be on that side of things. But yet I'm still gaining insight on it somehow. Oh, Linda, you posted? How long ago did you post? Because I might have missed it for sure. Oh, I see it now. You know what it was? I think that I missed it because I was doing Kendra's reading at the time, and I know I asked you for it, but then I don't know, I just missed it. I do apologize. You're welcome, Kendra. Okay, so we're working on Linda now. All right, Linda says, my question is what's coming up for me in my love life in the near future? Because my ex Caleb's energy is strongly around me. I'm not sure why. I'm literally confused as to what that is. Okay. All right, so what is coming up for Linda in the near future in her love life? All right, so, oh shit, this is crazy. Ooh. All right, so, Linda, I really feel like Caleb wants to come back around to you. And I'm like, sorry to say that because I truthfully don't know if that's what you want. And I don't know if, like, there's, a messy side of this that maybe you don't want to be involved or you don't want to be the reason. But I feel like you're feeling the energy strongly around because he really does want to communicate with you. The Six of Cups is here, which talks about reconciliation. It talks about union or getting together with someone from the past. The Six of Cups also talks about heavy memories and nostalgia associated with the fondness of time spent with someone. And so he's almost like reminiscing a lot between and possibly comparing the connection that you had that he currently has. So like comparing the two of you together maybe with the person that he's currently involved with now. I feel like you guys have a lot of history together. He talks about the investment that he had made in you. And I feel as though, I don't know, it's almost like, did y'all ever talk marriage? Did you guys talk about a future together? Like, I don't know, I'm hearing kind of like we were too young, but it was like this great love, this strong love, like I really saw a future with her. A lot of times Benjamin energy can be mutual, but I specifically set the intention of like what her question was, and so I'm feeling it more on his side. But this is also a continuance of a reading that I did for her last night. So I like already know where this stems from, so that's how I can dig in a little bit more into that this is more coming from his direction. You were meant to get married this year. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm viewing right now, is more of a comparison between who he is with or currently involved in versus you. There's a lot of that going back and forth. I think that he feels like the grass was greener on the other side. The Six of Arrows talks about steadier waters on the other side. Like you're in the rough of it, but you're getting to the smoother side, the more tranquil side of things. And so I'm viewing the Six of Arrows right now as like, the grass is greener, like it's better over there. It's better on the other side. However, I feel like he is regretting this a little bit. He does feel like he's fighting off some, I don't know. there is a challenge here for him. The Seven of Staves talks about needing to overcome something very challenging, where he kind of feels like things are coming at him that he can't control, or he's having trouble controlling. I feel like for you, you're just kind of sitting pretty. Truthfully, I feel like you are kind of in this state of like, take it or leave it. Like the Queen of Arrows is very much like, I'm going to cut you off. Like, you screw me over. Like, that's it. We're done. Clearly, it's still likely you would have feelings for this person. That's just an assumption. But I do feel like you're more in the headspace of like, you made your bed, now lie in it. Like, you need to figure it out. You need to sort your life out. But I do feel like there is slight regret when it comes to this. He's thinking of you very heavily. Benjamin says, oh, I like learning how you read the cards. Thank you. I actually have a 3-part tarot course class for beginners. It's a beginner's guide that I'm doing. So if anyone is interested in learning a little bit on how to get started reading tarot, you can definitely check that out. It's in my link in my pinned comment. That's kind of crazy though. Like, you said you were supposed to get married this year. That's insane. And he ruined it. He's with someone right now. Is he with the same someone that put you in a third party? He's with the same someone that caused the issue? Oh, damn. So this is recent. This is within the last couple of months. Yeah. Truthfully, he feels like he's starting over. And I think that that's scary for him. I think that for the longest time, you were this comfort to him that he felt. And I feel as though he's missing that. I think he's missing being with you in that way because of what was comfortable, what was familiar. You gave him this peace and he disrupted his own peace. He definitely saw you there at the end with him. 10 of Cups is like alignment, happiness, joy there at the end of your life. All of your cups are full. You're feeling fulfilled within your love relationship. And I think he just had temptation, and it's maybe not turning out to be exactly like he thought it would. He definitely feels like he invested so much into you, into your relationship, and into the future together that I think he felt he was a bit hasty, but he feels like he's reaping the karma. Okay, so he feels like this is a rite of passage for him, and he's allowing for that punishment, which makes me feel like even though he really wants to reach out to you, it's possible he will, but I feel like he feels like he put you in a really shitty spot, and that he just needs to reap what he has sowed. I do feel like he has hope for you and for a future together. I feel like you also have a new beginning here in love. You have plenty of opportunities to invest yourself into something else and be happy. You're blocked off. He literally drives past your house. You saw him twice and he lives 3 hours away. Like, that's insane to me that he drives past your house and he takes that long ass drive to do that. That's crazy. Benjamin, absolutely. If I go to the next stage, because I have lots of plans for the school, or I guess the course. So if I get to intermediate and advanced, I definitely will let you know about it. Yeah, how card meanings change based on the other cards that are around, that's for sure. I don't always look at that, but like if spirit's like, look at how this card is a place this above this card or something in that reading, then I would tap into that a little bit further. You have gone on 5 dates with the same person or other different people? So he's heavily in this reading. Linda, I know you specifically wanted love life for the near future. The one thing that I am picking up is that you have options. I am picking up that you have a new beginning here for you. You have a lot of like opportunities in love. What you do with that is up to you, but I would say keep dating because it seems this feels good. Oh yeah, I'm sure that's the case. It's kind of crazy how like you think you're not in love anymore and then you know you get into the new situation and then you realize how much you actually love the person. You know, it sucks, but he made his bed, right? Can I answer a second question for you today? We're doing a BOGO. Oh, different men. Okay, cool. Do I feel that you'll move on or will you reconcile? Because deep down, I think we might. It's like too much history. And also, I think he's unhappy. I don't think the relationship will last. Let's take a look. Benjamin, if you're ready, you can go ahead and post your question. If you know what they both are, you can post them at the same time or just one at a time. Okay, Benjamin, I got it. I'm having a hard time, Linda, seeing reconciliation, although I feel like it's on his heart, and I do feel like to some extent you wouldn't be closed to the idea, you would be open to that. Um, but I feel like there's a lot of hurt here. And I feel like the only desire to be with him again for you is just the love that you still have and the hope and possibility of what it could have been. But I do feel like if you guys got back together, there would be some issues that you guys would have to work out. And as the energy here stands, it seems a lot more of moving on. We have literally a card that means moving on, moving forward. There's third party energy here. Three of Pentacles, Three of Cups means that someone else externally is involved in the stability and like material and earthly world of your relationship, as well as the emotional involvement. So the realistic part of your love life, as well as the emotional part of your love life, there's someone else involved here, which makes it difficult. I see you both retreating your feelings for one another. You're going deep down. You're having a lot of thoughts. And really pondering this. This is something that's heavy on your mind, both of you mutually at the same time. However, this can also talk about distancing yourself from one another and isolating yourself from the situation. I see with the Hermit next to the Four of Swords, this talks about literally cutting yourself off from each other. And so when we're talking about, are we going to reconcile? So far, it doesn't seem great. The Ace of Pentacles is in reverse. As we all know, Aces talks about things happening for you, for us. It's new beginnings as well as new starts, new potentials. This is in reverse, which talks about that this is not available at this time. We do have challenges to overcome here. Seven of Swords talks about sneaky energy, feeling like you can't trust someone, feeling like you don't know if they're hiding something from you. I see you as the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles, but where's your man? Where's your king? You don't even have a page or a knight here. I don't see a king. I don't see an emperor. I don't see anything. I just see you kind of on this journey on your own with the thoughts of, is this going to happen? Is it not? Even when you have the Ten of Pentacles here, which talks about a happy ending, being somewhere long term, being a clarifying card here is something that you can't see. You can't really see the future. You don't know what it's going to hold. You don't know if you guys are going to end up together. It's like, not only is it uncertain, but it's like it's hard to even picture what that would even look like. The bottom of the deck here, we have the Hanged Man, which talks about prolonging something, procrastinating, and delays, as well as sacrifices needed to be made. So all in all, if I were to say, would you reconcile? I think that if you did, it would take so much work. Like it would just be so hard on the both of you to try to work this out, and you would never get back to where you were before. And the only thing holding you and tethering you guys to one another is just that love and that like wanting to get back to how things were before things fell apart. And it's like understanding you can't get from there. All you can do is build from here on out. And I think that that's why I'm getting a lot of more so cards along the lines of moving on, just because I feel like Spirit is saying that is in your best interest. However, Spirit can't tell you what to do. You do have free will and you can make your decision. But if I were to guess how things are going right now, we're talking about the current trajectory. If nothing with you changes, nothing with him changes, and you guys just keep going about your lives organically the way that they are, I'm seeing a trajectory of you guys are moving on separately from one another. He would have to move mountains to get me back, but if he's so in love, why won't he just leave her? Yeah, I think he really does have strong feelings for you. I think that it hurts him to see like how different things are, you know, but I feel like more so in his mind, like I said in the previous reading, that he feels like he deserves this. This is his karma. He's punishing himself. He feels like even more motivated to try to work this out with her, because he's like, well, what was it for? What did I do? Why did me and Linda break up if I'm not even going to make this work with this person. I feel like a failure, So it's like there could be a lot of complex things going on in his mind as to why he's not making moves in your direction. But he probably also knows, like you said, he'd have to move mountains to get me back. He probably also knows it would be a lot of work. It would be a lot that he has to do. So it's like, when it comes to these complexities of the mind and our desires and our intentions, it's not as black and white as if you love me, just try. It's like there's so much more involved here. And I think that that's honestly why he's thinking so much. If he could just snap his fingers and be back with you and it'd be easy, or he could go back in time and change how things were, I feel like he would, just because of how heavily he is thinking about you and, wishing that things were different. But I feel like now he knows this is, he knows that this is what it is, and he just has to live with it now. It is crazy. That's an interesting perspective, Benjamin. I would have to agree with that for sure. So Linda, my advice, just keep focusing on you, go on those dates, do those things, understand that his energy is going to be around you here and there. There's going to be times where you're going to feel him completely pull away from you. And then there's going to be times where you feel his energy on you, and just know that you're not crazy, that it's actually happening, but you don't have to assign meaning to it either. Just know that whatever will be, will be. All right, y'all. So we are doing last call for donations. If anyone is hanging out with me and would like a reading, you can get a 2-for-1. It's 2 questions for the price of 1, flat rate $15. You can donate to Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. The link is in my pinned comment. I'm going to work on Benjamin's reading, and if no one has donated to take another spot on my list once I'm done with his, then I am going to end the broadcast. So again, last call. If you want to donate, if you want a question, $15, and you can ask 2 questions, 2 readings. Donate to Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. Linda says, I'm at peace anyway. I have options and I have a lot to offer. Thank you. You're very welcome, Linda. And I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. Just keep having fun. Do your thing, girl. All right. So Benjamin said, Spirit, can you please guide the reading with a topic? Show me a card so we know what we are going to discuss. Please direct Benjamin's reading. Show me a topic or a subject for the first question. What information does Benjamin need to know? Ooh, it's a woman. It's a lady. Queen of Cups. So this could be your feminine side, but likely it's something external from you. It's a feminine energy that is around you. Someone who is nurturing, who's generous, who's emotionally intelligent, on your same wavelength. Someone who's good at coming up with ideas. Someone who is creative. Someone who just allows themselves to feel and validates the emotions of others as well. It looks like something maybe you're working on or working towards, possibly manifesting. We have the 8 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So this to me feels like you would need to direct this for me. Does this sound more like a feminine energy, like a love life situation, or does this sound more like you within yourself that you need to explore more of your emotions? Or it can be both, and we can dig into it. Scorpio energy as well. The Queen talks about, it could even be like a maternal figure as well. Maybe someone who either needed to give you emotional security or didn't quite give it to you when you needed it. You are a Cancer. You're getting a lot of attention at work. Ooh, is it from just general people that you work with, or is there a feminine maybe manager, supervisor, someone you work with? All right, let's dig into this, please. Spirit, can you give some clarification on the Queen of Cups? What is the Queen of Cups that you want to talk about with Benjamin? That's good that you're getting the recognition that you need at work. You said you're not open in love life. Let's get some confirmation on this Queen of Cups, please. Ooh, you're trying to keep it professional. So when you say lots of attention, you feel like it's romantic interest. Queen of Cups confirmation, clarification here. I see you being closed off. You feel unsuccessful in this area. You maybe even feel impossibilities in this area. The Five of Pentacles talks about loss. Or feeling at a loss or feeling lost when it comes to navigating through romantic relationships. Flirty, looking for attention. Ugh. Like a pick-me, like someone who you like, I don't want any part of that. I mean, it's flattering. It's nice to get attention, but if it's not attention from what you want, that's not for the best. So definitely pay attention to the dynamic you have with your mom, whether existing or non-existing. That is affecting your love life. I'm picking up a lot too, as well as the father, the Emperor. I remember you said something about your upbringing, but it's like the relationships and dynamics you have with your parents have affected you. It's almost like you were conditioned a certain way through your upbringing. There's things that you learned throughout your life that you're having to now unlearn and change your behaviors. And it can be very simple and it can be very innocent. You know, like your parents tried to do something the right way, but realizing that's actually not the right way and you're having to unlearn it. The Hierophant talks about traditions, things that you do all the time and over and over and over, which speaks to me about cycles that you may find yourself in. The Wheel of Fortune is also here, which talks about cycles and the way that these things possibly inhibit you from being able to move forward and do the things that you want to do that make you happy. There's a lot of sadness here and frustration and what is this? It almost just feels like hopelessness in some way. Lots of major arcana coming through for you. The Emperor, the Devil, the Hierophant, Wheel of Fortune, the Hanged Man, the Hermit, the World. So all of this is talking about something that's basically very significant for you, something that maybe you haven't quite worked through yourself, but it's really affecting you in your life at this time. Hun, do you hear all those birds? Oh, that was weird. Like this like flock of birds just came flying through as I'm doing like a crow deck reading for you. That's actually an expression for the Hierophant as well, is birds of a feather flock together. So the people with whom you identify, maybe you find yourself not identifying with them anymore. Maybe you've been needing to feel safe in certain situations that you feel like you were not safe in. The great thing is I did look up this like symbolism, and it talks about good fortune, harmony, and general positivity. So you are working your way towards more alignment. I think you're breaking away from these things. It's progress, it's prosperity, it's abundance coming in your direction. And I'm also going to take that for myself too, because I physically saw the flocks of birds. But um, I almost feel like in your life, Benjamin, there were times where you were stunted, basically because you were held back in some way through your upbringing that you shouldn't have been. And I feel like now you're recognizing it. Now you're trying to break free of that. You're learning that. You're understanding that. And it's basically now you're trying to adjust to this almost new reality, which is very interesting. Like almost like you were blinded, like almost like you were sheltered in some way. And like now you're seeing the realities of things for what they are. Now, I really hope that you are on maybe more of like the positive side of this. Maybe you went through a part of turmoil or torment, um, definite turbulence. But I'm hoping that you're more on like the positive side of things. But I do feel like there's like the dynamic between you and your parents or a maternal and paternal figure in your life that maybe has shaped kind of the way things are. And it's like now you have your glasses on, now you can actually see what's going on and what things are. And I think that's why you have really good instincts as well. Because, like, for instance, just the example you gave, flirty, looking for attention. You know, this person's not flirting to be with you per se. You know what they're trying to do underneath it all. You know what their motive is. They're looking for attention, they're wanting that attention. And so you're really easy to instinctively and intuitively pick up on the motivations of other people, maybe because of your upbringing. But I hope that you know that it's shaped who you are and who you're becoming. And it's like these life lessons are actually benefiting you. So maybe you don't put yourself in situations to say, oh, these people are flirting with me because they want to be with me. It's like, no, they're flirting with me because they got their own issues and they want attention. And I'm not going to give it to them. Because now you're in like this protection mode where you can, stop that stuff before it starts. I just feel like you have a very keen sense of who people are. You're good at reading people, and also like determining their character pretty right off the bat. You said I've been having huge bouts of emotions and there's a lot of confusion, and diving into it feels like I'm stepping into my power. I can certainly see that, especially with the Emperor card here. It's like you're reclaiming that power. And I think that that's a good thing that you're allowing yourself to feel, because there's been times in your life where you probably, you get that lump in your throat, you choke up, you push those feelings down, but we cry for a reason. They have to be expressed. They have to get expelled out of your body. And when you don't, it presents residually in your muscles and in your body, and body aches and things like that. And I feel like now, by actually allowing yourself to feel through these things, you are bringing yourself back into alignment, bringing yourself back into center. That's why mental health and working with your shadow self and having these ego deaths and all of these things that you hear about are so good for you. And it is working in your favor. I feel like I'm getting information from Spirit to continue doing this, continue allowing yourself to feel, because you're just further investing in your own self when you do that. So you have the wheel and you have the world, which talks about cycles, things needing to come to an end. The infinity here around this wreath is interesting because I'm seeing this as Christmas time for some reason. But this talks about just the infinite cycles that we all are a part of that need to be broken. Cycles aren't necessarily a bad thing, but they are a comfort zone. And, that one song where it's the only thing that changes is, or nothing, oh God, it's something about the only thing that changes is that things never stay the same. There's a lyric that's coming to mind. I can't fully get the words out. The only thing that stays the same is that everything changes. I don't know. It's something along those lines. And it's cycles aren't necessarily the best things for us. All right. One thing I did want to say is I am getting confirmation about you doing these deep dives, these bouts of emotions and all of that. That's the Hermit card for me. Okay. So you want to know anything that's coming towards you by the end of the year. Let's take a look. So for me personally, when I was doing that reading for you, there was multiple interpretations. I think that you need a Queen of Cups for you, because I feel like throughout your life, you may not have always felt emotionally supported or felt safe enough to be vulnerable. And so you seek that in a partner. But the other thing is I think that it talks back about maybe the toxicity of the relationships and dynamics that you've had with women in your life. And it also speaks to the relationship and dynamic that you have with your mom, whether that's existing, non-existing. You either learned a lot from her and they didn't necessarily serve you for the best, or maybe you're looking to have a better dynamic. So, for example, if you had a good relationship with your mom, you may be trying to find that in someone else. Or if you felt like you didn't have a good relationship with your mom, or that something was lacking there, then now you're looking to make that up. So yes, you want to seek that in someone else, but at the same time, it's important that you also seek it for yourself and balance out your masculine and feminine energy. I hope that makes sense. Because you don't necessarily want someone else to fulfill your needs when you can fulfill them yourself. But you also want someone who is going to make you feel safe and give you that feeling of security that maybe you feel like you have not had with the relationships. So if your mom doesn't particularly care to communicate with you, then that goes to show that you haven't ever felt safe enough to be vulnerable. You haven't felt safe enough to communicate. I did see like issues between you and your mom and your dad, or the father figure and mother figure in your life. Like not necessarily healthy, because the Devil card was there. And the thing is we can have healthy relationships with our family members, but they didn't necessarily teach us the best coping mechanisms, or they didn't teach us the best relationships to have with food, or the best way to handle our own emotions, or the best way to view life. So despite what kind of connection you personally had, they may be teaching us things that need to be unlearned. And that's kind of what I was talking about in that reading. Okay, so Spirit, can you please tell me anything that's coming towards Benjamin before the end of the year? Benjamin, you have always had psychic abilities, more tapped in than the average person. I believe you were able to communicate with spirits when you were younger. I think your upbringing shut you off to that. So the comfort you feel in doing readings and having readings is bringing you back to your natural states. It's bringing you back to your ancestors, bringing you back to yourself. You will get to the point where you can read without cards. Information will be sent to you. It's like the cards are like a security for you right now as you build up your intuition. But you may even remember experiences that you've had, like when you were younger, vaguely, of like communicating with other realms. I think that's why you're so drawn to the like tools of divination. You receive divine messages and divine downloads, and I know that you're asking what's coming towards you before the end of the year, and it's this. You're going to start getting visions. You're going to start hearing words, hearing songs. You're going to get literally divine downloads all of the time. You're not necessarily going to know what to do with it. It's going to be like a puzzle. I think that to start off, you might, I don't know, like taste pizza for no reason, and someone in your life that you're close to is eating pizza at that time, but you don't realize that that's what that connection is. You might hear a song, someone that you're close to is listening to that song, or that song holds meaning for someone in your life, but you're not going to necessarily understand the connection, and you probably will go through a lot of those, like receiving those messages and not understanding the connection that it holds until you can channel it, until you can get yourself to the point where you understand and you're like harnessing that information now rather than just it randomly coming to you. But I feel like what's coming to you towards the end of the year is almost like a development of these intuitive abilities. Trust the visions, but I think it's going to be a lot more waking information before the end of the year. So I feel like you're going to close your eyes and all of a sudden a vision's going to happen. You're not sleeping, or maybe you blink, or I don't know, you just do something where you kind of close your eyes and relax your body, and then all of a sudden a vision will come to you. You'll hear things, you'll taste things, you'll smell things that aren't logically, they don't make sense to be there in front of you. And I feel like a lot more of this is going to be happening during your waking life. You're going to be noticing it a lot more before the end of the year. These messages can come through to you numerically. They can, like I said, be smells, scents, tastes, visions. You can hear words, you can hear songs. You can kind of just know something about someone, or they could pop up in your head and then you hear from them. Like, these things may have happened to you in the past, but I feel like it's going to be more concentrated before the end of the year. I do see the opportunity for love before the end of the year, as well as the Two of Cups is here. There's a lot more happiness for you before the end of the year than I think you may even realize, because I feel like you feel a bit blinded to what's to come. I think you're going through possibly an ego death or something similar, where you're just deep diving into shadow work right now. And so you feel like the conflict, the emotions, the bouts of like you said, just the overwhelming feelings that you've been getting. And so with those things happening to you, it might be really hard to see what's coming for you. The Empress is also here. I'm noticing growth. The Empress is a very fertile ground. It might be good to start making plans before the end of the year, because they talk about planting seeds now, so that way you can reap the benefits of the harvest in the future. And if you're coming into a time of very fertile ground, it might be time to start making plans for your future, deciding what you want things to look like in a year, 2 years, 5 years from now, and just start setting those intentions, because this is in a very expansive time for you. Definitely walk away from the things you need to. If there's, your career, relationships, completely severing ties from things that aren't serving you. The Eight of Cups talks about withdrawing. I think you're going to be spending a lot more time alone before the end of the year, but it's not a bad thing. It often doesn't make sense to you. Now, also pay attention to, is that your emotions, is it your feelings, or is that someone else's? Because if you're empathic, you can take on the feelings of other people. If you haven't quite controlled your clairsentience ability, you could be feeling joy that someone else is feeling, sorrow that someone else is feeling. You have to really sit there and think to yourself, is this mine or is this someone else's? And that's what's important. Now, you just have to sit with yourself and analyze, is this me or is this something else outside of me? If it's not, it's important that you disconnect from it. You call in your spiritual teams, your guides, ancestors, to come down and disconnect you from any foreign energies that are not your own. Just remove that from you, because sometimes we can experience things that aren't even our own feelings, and it's confusing, especially if it doesn't make sense. It might not even be yours to carry, especially if you do readings for other people. Set intentions before you start and close it out. Imagine a light switch turning off. Imagine you cutting a cord, or you specifically call on your spiritual team to disconnect you from these energies, because energetic hygiene is really important. You want to make sure that you are clearing yourself from carrying on anyone else's burdens. I feel like there is some feelings of defeat or hopelessness that you have carried with you that is coming to an end. You may not be able to see everything that's coming in. You may feel like you're taking a shot in the dark with certain things, maybe people that you give chances on, or a hobby or a job or a project. But I feel like it's going to work out for you. The sun is here, which talks about success and the sun shining down on you at this time. I feel like you have a lot of options, choices, opportunities coming your way. But more than anything, this is what's important to ring in the new year and to decide before the end of the year is how you want things to look and start planting those seeds. Start making those plans, start doing those things to get you to where you want to be. And also, I feel like you have a lot of psychic information that is going to be coming to you that you don't necessarily have to put the puzzle together. You don't have to decide what to do with this information, but acknowledging it and understanding it and being tapped into the guidance that you're receiving is important, because the more you do that, the more you will receive the information that you need. So that is what I have for you, Benjamin. I hope that this served you in some way. I do appreciate the donation. I'm actually going to go ahead and sign off for the evening, but I will be back tomorrow. I hope you all have a lovely evening. Benjamin, I know that some of the stuff that I probably said to you is not 100% going to resonate, but I hope that maybe down the line, maybe in a month even, you come back to these readings and you re-listen to it with a different perspective and see if maybe that helped at all, or it maybe brings a different perspective for you. You're very welcome. It was definitely good to hear from you as well. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your night. Bye.